to, yeah, that's all good. So what I wanted to first of all highlight is that this session is primarily for every one of you. We will be going through the details, but this session is the target is yourself, and it's for the benefit of every one of you. So what I want to start with in the beginning is a very quick introduction of everyone. So it doesn't have to be a very detailed introduction. What I want everyone to do is take a minute, tell us where you are at in your learning journey, and really what brings you here. So even if I can get everybody to come off mute or even come on camera, if you're welcome to come off on video, and just tell us where you are at in your learning journey, and what brings you here. Does anybody want to start off?
Can I?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, my name is Gopal, and I'm having around 5+ years of experience, and I'm currently working as a Workday tester. So I got an opportunity to move into an RPA project, and I'm at the business stage. I'm just a beginner actually, so
Okay.
just don't know what are the insights about RPA regarding this path and all. So just trying to explore, and right now I'm in training. So I
Okay.
just want to know. I mean, even I joined this group very recently, and I thought of this session will be helpful for me going forward, so I can learn as much as I can. So this is what about from my end about me.
Awesome. Thank you, Gopal. Thanks for volunteering. Usually, volunteering to be the first one to speak is always a bit tricky. Anybody
Fine,
else?
thank you.
Yeah, hi. My name is Jyoti. Precisely, I also, come from the manual testing background. So I just want to know, like, is it a good choice to, switch from manual testing to RPA UI path developer? Because I do have a coding background as well in the initial years of my career.
That's awesome. So we will get to detailed questions in a bit, but thanks for letting us know, where you are at in your career and what your aspirations are. So thank you for that, Jyoti. Anybody else would like to volunteer? Otherwise, we can go into the details of what we have planned for this evening. Okay, no pressure to anyone. We'll kick off with the agenda for today. Raj, are you able to bring up what we have planned in the agenda?
Sure, Karthik, sharing in a minute.
Thanks, Raj. Cool. So yeah, I'm hoping everyone can see the presentation. I'll take that as a yes. Cool. So yeah, for the next roughly an hour or so, what we have planned is we'll spend some time with introducing ourselves, what the company's mission is, who we are. I'll get Raj and Mano as well to introduce themselves. Then we'll go into the various courses, who they've been designed for, what's included in the course, and things like that. Then Raj will take us through an introduction to RPAs. I'm guessing that's the cool stuff that everybody wants to hear about, and why most of you are here as well. And then we were conscious that all of us are at different stages in our learning journey. We come with different objectives to such a session, so I want to leave a good amount of time for any and all questions that you might have. So that's what we have planned for today. Is if at any point you feel you want to cover something else, or you have a specific clarification or question, just feel free to jump in. That sound good? Cool. With that, I want to give us a bit about what this company or what the mission was when this company was formed by its founders. So the company mission is about, we go way beyond imagination to empower the business's focus on most essential and innovative work by automating anything that's manual, repeated, and time consuming. And we truly believe in this mission because we believe that no person should have to do things that are repetitive. If there's a software, if there's automation, if there's a machine that can be built to do it, that it should be done. And it's been going on from pretty much the start of mankind. When the wheel was invented, otherwise people had to travel so much, walk long distances. The wheel was invented. It's an initial very primitive form of automation itself. So automation has been around for a very long time. That's why this mission and the people that we truly believe that nothing should be done manually. Anything that can be automated should be automated. Who we are, we were best in class in terms of leading tools and technologies that can help you automate anything that's boring and time consuming, like I mentioned. And we work together by learning your business or your knowledge and experience, but also share the technical knowledge that we've gained through our experiences to make your journey most productive, interesting, and profitable. So with that, I'd like to introduce myself, and then I'll get Raj and Manu to introduce themselves as well. So to everyone, I'm Karthik. I work in the technology consulting industry, and I spent a lot of time delivering software solutions. And I've spent the last 5 or so years specializing in the automation space, specifically robotic process automation and robotic desktop automation as well. So that's a bit about me. Over to you, Raj, to give everyone a quick introduction.
Yep. Thanks, Karthik, for your introduction. And myself, Rajneesh Balakrishnan. So I am BTech in Information Technology and have 14 years of experience into IT, out of which around 7 years into Australia. And I have more than 10 years of experience into the automation industry, specifically into test automation side. And the recent 4 years are into RPA, which is robotic process automation. And I am quite experienced in most of the tools and certified in UiPath, Blue Prism, and Automation Anywhere. And I'm one of the UiPath MVPs for year 2020 and 21 for the past 2 years. And currently I'm the RPA lead at To Automate Anything. And that's the little bit the high level about myself. And I'll hand over to Manu for the quick introduction.
Hi, everyone. Thanks, Raj. I'm Mano, and I'm specialized in designing and developing software products using cutting-edge technologies, primarily with Microsoft. So I'm expert in implementing end-to-end IT solutions. Also, I have a wide range of domain knowledge, as I got a chance to work with various industry stakeholders in my past 15 years of experience with IT. I'm working one of the major banks as a technical solution designer and working as a guest trainer for To Automate Anything, where I'm getting a chance to provide professional training, primarily in business intelligence and also other Microsoft technologies. My main intention is to provide high standard professional training and to help people to land in their dream job. That's what I have been doing. Without any further delay, I will hand it over to Karthik Malik. He's a highly skilled industry expert and love to provide you some insights on our program, which I'm sure it's going to be a great takeaway for you. Over to you, Karthik.
Thanks, Mano. And as you must have heard, Raj has come from a testing background. So Jyoti, I know you had some questions around testing. We'll get Raj to specifically share his experience on how he's come from the world of testing into the world of RPA and his journey so far. I'm sure that will be very insightful for you as well. So yeah, getting a bit into what we do as a company, To Automate Anything. So To Automate Anything specializes in software product development, website creation and support, automating manual tasks using tools like UiPath, and then of course the focus of today's evening, the professional transformation program. Now, a bit about this professional transformation program. Why this program exists? This is to train people in emerging technologies. This is to gain in-depth knowledge from leading technical experts and place them in good companies and good roles. So that's the core motive of these programs. And now jumping into a bit about the two courses as well. So as you, yeah. we'll start with the advanced training program. Now, the advanced training program, the name might sound like it's only for advanced skill set, but that's not true. It's for any person who wants to learn more about RPA and the technologies, and it's to gain that knowledge really. So even if you're at a beginner level, or you've never even heard of RPA before today, that's fine. There's no prior experience required. So it's just an in-depth training on the selected technology. It comes along with skill development exercises, starting from basics to very advanced. It's a modular 8-week program, so about spanning across about 2 months. And along with the program, what you also get at the end of it is a certificate of achievement that you, yes, completed the course, and the experience that comes with it. And not only just the certificate of achievement for the course, but you also get personalized industry experts advice from people like Raj and Mano, who've spent a considerable amount of time in the industry with big corporations, developing technology solutions, solving business problems with their technical expertise. So you get a lot of that experience and expertise from the likes of Raj and Mano. So this is designed for anybody who's really looking for knowledge, or technical aspirants. So I'm pretty passionate about technology. Doesn't matter what I'm looking to do with it. I'm just passionate about technology, and I like learning different tools. So whether it's on RPA, whether it's on product development, I'm just curious to learn more about these tools and technologies. So it's for people like me who are technology aspirants, looking to gain further knowledge into the tools, hoping to learn what RPA is all about, get a share of the market and the industry, because there's so many opportunities out there for the RPA market, not just for customer-facing businesses, but even roles internally. And we'll talk about that in a bit. So that's about the advanced course. I'll pause a little bit before we move on to the internship. I'll pause a little bit in case anybody has any questions specifically for the advanced course. Or I'm happy for the questions to be saved till the end as well. Just pausing for people to understand, clarify anything about the advanced course.
Is there any prerequisite for that?
Yeah, like I mentioned, even if you've never heard of what RPA is before today, doesn't matter. There's no prior experience required, prior knowledge or experience required. The program is designed in such a way where you start from the basics and then move on to the advanced topics. So yes, to answer your question, there is no prior knowledge or experience required. Cool. If there's no other questions, of course, you can keep thinking about these courses, and if you have any questions later, we can get to them as well. So moving on to the internship, that's another course offered. So while the advanced course was designed more for technology, the tools knowledge, this one is more sort of an internship, which gives you, apart from everything that's included in the advanced course in terms of knowledge and tools experience, what this will also give you is a live hands-on project experience, which means once you've learned the tools, you get to apply that to solve a real business problem. For example, you want to look up something on a website every day, 7 times a day, or you want to change addresses when you call up your bank. You call up your bank and you tell them, I want to change their address. Somebody in the bank goes into their banking systems, change their addresses, and send you an email. So these sort of live projects that you have, that you'll get that experience. You'll get a volunteer job offer. You'll get exposure to project artifacts. So in the project development lifecycle, at different stages, different documents and artifacts are produced. You get access to those project artifacts. You get an integrated cloud-based platform for hands-on training. So if you're aware of the agile methodologies, some of these platforms are required for not just for development of the actual RPA solution, but also to deal with the different software development lifecycle stages. And then at the end of it, the best part of this course is the job assistance. So what that means is once you've gained the knowledge and then project experience, industry experts who've been around in the industry for a while help you with LinkedIn profile enrichment. There's a profile web page that I'll get Raj to show you in a bit. Interview tips and tricks, and what sort of questions to expect and how to tackle them, what sort of situations to prepare for, and of course job reference and experience. So with every job you get, the HR team might request for references. This team will provide those reference checks as well. With that in mind, I just want to touch upon that profile web page, which is one web page on the company's website, which demonstrates that you've done this course, you've got the experience, and that's a summary of your experience during this course. What that provides is, if you're looking for a job elsewhere and somebody wants to validate what you're claiming in terms of experience, you get a link to such a profile that Raj is now showing you. So you can copy the link to this profile and share it with the recruitment teams or recruiter, and they can open up this link and they'll get a publicly viewable web page with all your experience summary, the specific professional skills, your education, your experience, and things like that. And yeah, of course, the references that come along with it. So I think that's a really cool thing that that Raj and Mano have developed here as well. So this is another cool part of the internship program.
So is this
Again, I'll
like
pause.
a LinkedIn page, something similar to that for RPA?
It's almost like a LinkedIn page. It's a page on their website. So when on your CV you claim that you've got experience with to automate anything, they can actually validate that experience by going to this website. So it's a LinkedIn, but it's not LinkedIn like social media. LinkedIn is the difference. I would say is LinkedIn nobody validates. You can put anything on LinkedIn, but here it's on a company website and it's validated and backed by the company, right? So there's a slight difference there, but yeah, essentially it's a summary of your knowledge and experience.
Okay, thank you.
Does that help? Yep.
Yep. Thanks.
Cool. Thanks, Sajid, for that question. Cool. And yeah, so in terms of the profile page, and if you need any further details, so with terms of pricing, we offer very competitive rates. So if you need further details about pricing or anything else that that caught your interest about these courses, through the website, there are multiple ways where you can get in touch with the team. There is an enroll your interest link on the webpage. Yeah, you can get in touch here, or you can book a free 30-minute appointment where you get a one-on-one discussion to really go through where you're at with your career, what you should be doing to enhance your career, and while you're Rajnish, can you just slow down there? So when you're enrolling your interest, it also asks you to highlight what areas interest you the most. So if you can see, if you're interested in RPA, you can select that. If you're interested in product development or Power BI, for example, you can select those things as well. So depends really on what you're looking to get out of these courses. And always remember, your career is in your hands. So it depends on what you want to get out of both these courses as well as your career. You can drive that through these courses. Again, I'll pause briefly for any questions before we jump into what RPA is and what the market is. Yep. Cool. Yeah, again, like I said, at any point in time, if you have a question, feel free to jump in, ask us about the courses or RPA in general, and we'd be happy to answer. Now jumping into RPA a little bit, before I hand over to Raj, who'll take us through the introduction into UiPath and the tools, what I thought, I'll set the context by helping you understand what RPA is as a solution overall. So for everybody who's familiar with software and software development, RPA is a piece of software. So yes, we call them robots. We call it robotic process automation, but these robots are software robots. They're not like the robots you might see when, or the image that comes to your mind when you talk about robots. These are not robots physically moving around in the room and serving you cocktails, but these are software robots, and they deliver repetitive, high volume tasks efficiently, quickly, and consistently. Now, the difference between what us humans are designed for versus what robots are designed for are very different. Robots are designed to do the same thing over and over again without getting bored, without getting tired, and they can do it 24/7, and they will not complain. People, on the other hand, are meant for intelligent tasks, like making those judgment decisions, build customer relationships with your customers, build relationships with your stakeholders, manage change, manage improvement. That's what people are built for. Now, if you put people and make them do the job of a robot, that's when it gets boring. So if I asked you, every single day, come into your work, open the same spreadsheet, generate a report, run the same formulas, and send me an email as your manager. If I asked you to do this every single day for the rest of your life, how many of us would really want to do it? I'm guessing nobody would want to do that, because it is boring. It is really boring to do that stuff. So that's what the difference is between human and bots. And bots are meant to be softwares that emulate human behavior. So if your manager told you to, like I said, do that boring report day in, day out, if you designed and built a bot for it, you would have to do nothing then. The bot would then generate that report, send it to your manager. If it encounters an error, it can send you an email as well. So that's really the benefits of having a robot. Now, you will hear these words, RPA, robotic process automation, bots, desktop automation. They overall, at a solution level, at a conceptual level, they refer to the same thing. But what I want to highlight is automation is not a new thing. You might hear, robotic process automation is the next big thing in the industry. You'll hear a lot about RPA, but let me tell you, automation is not a new thing. Like I think I briefly touched upon this. When people built the wheel and a cart on top of that wheel to save them from the effort of walking, that was automation. When banks were originally formed and money transactions were done on pen and paper, from there, when we moved to computers, that was automation. And then from entering information into Excel sheets and banking systems and insurance systems, when we moved to robotic automation, we're essentially doing another form of automation. We built macros that to save us from that effort of dealing with Excel sheets. That's another form of automation. That's at a very high level what the solution, what conceptually robotics means. And just to give you a scale of the market, currently by the end of 2021, RPA is meant to be a $2.9 billion industry globally. That gives you a scale of almost every company, every organization that I've worked with in my 13 or 14 year experience are now looking to optimize their processes. How can we do things better? How can we do things faster? How can we free up our people to build customer relations and take care of our important, valuable clients and customers, rather than be busy doing those busy tasks, right? So that's the scale of the industry. In fact, so much so that now companies, when automation, or rather RPA first came in, it was targeted for customer facing roles, right? So if your customer calls you and makes a request, you're using robotic automation there. What now companies have started doing is even started using it for internal purposes. So big organizations have a lot of internal processes like HR processes, payroll related processes. Companies have started using automations themselves internally to free up their people from the boring jobs. So again, I talk a lot, so I'll stop now, but feel free to ask any questions. I'll pause here quickly for any questions. Otherwise, I'll hand over to Raj to take us through the tools and UiPath. Any questions, or over to you, Raj?
Thank you very much, Karthik. That's a very good introduction and very good overview about the RPA. So, like, I won't take much of the time, but like all I want to show is like our way of teaching. So we have already a YouTube channel to automate anything. So where we just post a glimpse of what we cover in the classes in this video. So you can get a fair understanding of what will be in the classes. So mainly we focus on the practical based education. So where we will give the real-time examples and we'll walk through on those solutions during our classes. We start everything right from the scratch. It's mainly the UiPath tool, and we'll go slowly to the foundations, cover the foundations, and then we move to the advanced. And then we do all the real-time project implementations using all our latest tools and technologies. So as Karthik told, it's some $90 billion industry. The overall artificial intelligence is projected by $90 billion by end of 2025. So you can see the amount of jobs that will be available. So at the moment in 21, you can see the net gain of the jobs. It's already, you can see in the market, so which is quite visible, right? So when in 2 or 3 years back, when we search for a RPA job or a UiPath job, there is very rarely 1 or 2 jobs available in LinkedIn or Seek. But now when we search, there are a lot of jobs. The problem now what we have is to meet that demand of that job, there is not enough skill to meet the job requirements. That is the main problem now. And the demand is too much. They are expecting everything. By now, they are expecting 5 years of experience in UiPath. But for many of them, they are hearing the word, the UiPath, this is the first time maybe. But now itself, they're asking 5 years. But if you see after 5 years, there is a phenomenal growth and lakhs of jobs are available, so people won't be having that skill. So that is the main reason for us to start this kind of career transformation program. So as you know, I have already the 2 times MVP and have enough skills in this UiPath tool. So I thought of sharing my experience. So how I became one, and I want to share those experience to others as well. So you can also get those skills, at least mainly to get a job in the market. So that is the main reason here. So not only RPA. So when you start learning about the UiPath tool, based on your skills and your interest, so you will be exposed to many of the areas. So that is RPA business analyst, you will be going into RPA testing and RPA implementation manager, and several roles are available in the RPA side. So depends on what your skills are and your interest, you will be definitely getting many more roles there as well. So salary trends. So if anyone interested about the salary, so this is mainly the US salary, which is the entry level is 20,000, and so it's the senior level. They are paying $90,000, which is US dollar, and for an experienced resource, it's go up to 190. And it is 2 to 3 times more than the normal jobs, which is clerks, admins, and a lot of other business analysts, the normal jobs what we have. So certainly the RPA salary is high when compared to the other jobs. And why UiPath? So as you know, like they are the top 3 players: the Blue Prism, UiPath, and Automation Anywhere. So it's not because that I am an UiPath MEP, I support UiPath. It's already, as per the Forrester and the Gartner, all these trends, the UiPath is the #1 tool. And they are certainly doing that. So their main vision, a robot for every person. So they are implementing not only as an individual, but for companies. So they are providing that end-to-end, the hyper automation. They are the only hyper automation platform. They are proving that. And there are many clients in Australia. I can visibly see that for the past few years, there are many clients who are implementing this UiPath, and there are many job opportunities also coming up. Not only in Australia and worldwide, that is the trend. There are many job opportunities coming up, and that is the reason they are number one. And in US, so they are the number one technology company in the recent years. And yeah, it's a proven tool. So nothing for me to talk about that. So you can go through internet and find all these details. So what software robots can do. So those who don't know anything about RPA, so there are a lot of repeated jobs in each and every industry, including banking or any industry. So we need to log into an application. So every day there are millions of login to an application which can be repeated. So that can be automated. We can move files and folders. That is another repeated job. And reading emails, that is the topmost repeated jobs everybody does in the industry. And we read and writes to databases. We scrape data from the web, so make calculations and APIs, so everything. So name me any single task that you do manually, so that can be automated using robots or by UiPath. So let's look at a small example.
If I may add to that, Raj, as well. So
Yes,
even if even like Raj was saying, all of these tasks can be done by robots. The other benefit is and that connect to system APIs. What that can also do is, if you've got artificial intelligence or computer vision or machine learning services provided by the likes of Microsoft and Amazon, those can be connected to bots. So even when you're building a bot, if the bot can't do it itself, and if there's a service that's externally available, you can connect it to via APIs, and that will make your automation do these things plus what that external service is provided. So you can almost connect anything that has an API to one of these existing and robotic solutions.
Yeah, that sounds good, Karthik. And just one example to add on the API spaces. So you may be knowing the ServiceNow. In many industries, ServiceNow are available. So mainly in the incident management and a lot of customer service area. So you can see a lot of repeated works there. People there filling the forms throughout day and night. And those can be done within a minute using API calls and using UiPath or any RPA tools implementation. So let us see a quick example on how the robot works.
You are about to
so let me know if you're able to hear it properly.
see a robot performing the following activities.
Yes, we can, Raj.
Dedicated folder where invoices are saved in PDF format. Reading invoices from that folder one by one. Extracting key information from the invoices. Opening SAP. Filling in invoice details in SAP. Sending email notifications. Please note that the robot will do some activities in the background, such as most of the invoice-related actions, monitoring a folder or checking its email address. Now let's see it working. Right now, it's monitoring a folder where 3 invoices are stored and collecting all the information needed so it can register them one by one. It then asks the tester to introduce the email address where the posting notification will be sent, and also performs basic checks to see if the SAP is open and runs it on its own if not. Logging into SAP using its credentials, it then starts processing the invoices one by one. We can see it filling in data such as vendor code, invoice date, invoice number, invoice amount, invoice description, and GL account. and ends up by filling the payment term. Following that, it registers the remaining 2 invoices in the assigned company code. An email containing the SAP registration number is sent automatically by the robot after successfully registering each invoice. Checking in the background, the robot verifies whether the VAT on the invoice matches the one in our database, and if so, will post it automatically. Otherwise, it will park it and send a dedicated email to the responsible person highlighting this difference and asking what to do. Post the invoice or to cancel it and send it back to the vendor. All the invoice's details are visible in the email it sends, so let's reply with yes to the message for an invoice with a VAT difference. Finally, it will check its email address in the background, access SAP using the appropriate transaction code, and post the invoice. And that's it. The robot has successfully posted the 3 invoices in SAP.
Yep. So what you just saw is a invoice process automation and a robot and a human working together. So that is what happened. And you can similarly automate any kind of process automation out there, and any similar kind of UIs and any latest application as well as legacy application, you can certainly automate that. So that is one thing. So and so it's not only the process, so anything else also you can automate. So whatever you feel that is that has repeated work, so just for fun, I have automated this, the one of the YouTube skip pad, so to make you understand better.
Hope you all are doing good. First of all, to create the listening steps to be followed, which are as follows. So let me open this notepad.
So this is using UiPath. So we'll see a live implementation how it is done.
And type the steps, which is launch YouTube, launch YouTube in a browser, to search for your favorite program, and create skip ad. Let me walk through the solution that I have created. So as you can see, so there is a launch YouTube step. So it's launch for the YouTube, and I have created this search. They enter the search button. So I'm going to input the search text. So input search text is a string variable. So I'm searching for the latest English hit songs 21. So this has been parameterized, and I'm clicking on the songs, search songs. So this will perform the operation and bring me the list of playlist. And I'm going to check the first playlist, so which is the most hit. So it comes first. So I'm interested to play the first playlist. And this section is the check for ads and skip them. So first of all, when I create this browser, so I save it in the YouTube as the UI browser. So the main reason being, so every time there is a song played, the title gets changed. So I'm just checking, getting the title from the browser using the youtube.element.getTitle.toString. So I'm getting the title. So initially I put the skip ad as false. Now I'm checking for ads, and if the ad is true, then I'm going to skip the ad. Otherwise I'm going to do nothing. And this I am going to put in a loop and check for every time. So every second, so it's going to check, the robot is going to check for me whether there is a, this ad, and it's going to click on the skip. So now let's do a run and see how it works. Okay, all right. Are you ready? Okay, let's click on the run to check how it works. Now I'm expecting to launch the browser. And you can see the browser is launched and it's just entered the input text, which is the latest hit songs 2021, and clicked on the search. And it clicked on the first playlist. And we are lucky that we got the ad first, and it's going to skip the ad now. That's all. See, it skipped the ad, and we can listen to the uninterrupted song. So it will be even more exciting. So it doesn't, if it finds.
Yeah, so that is one of the example that I want to show how we implement in UiPath. So this is a live YouTube example because everyone can relate to this. What is a repeated task? So any process can be listed, and we have certain process how to do that. We need to write down the steps, so which is the requirements for the RPA, and then we can do it in UiPath. And it supports a lot of activities that we can automate. Yep. So with that, it comes to an end. So my session. So all of this video are already available in the our YouTube channel. You can take a look. And now I pass on to Mano for the business intelligence overview. Thank you.
Thanks, Raj. It was a great speech from Raj, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. While Raj and Karthik were explaining about how RPA has a huge impact to the IT industry, I'm just going to take you a different aspect. Like, I'm going to cover very briefly on what is business intelligence and what's the power of data. So you would have heard about what is business intelligence so many times, and data. So business intelligence is a process which helps you organize your data so it can be easily accessed and analyzed. So management can get the information which they need very quickly and empowering them to make informed decisions. So good data allows organizations to establish baselines, benchmark, and goals to keep moving forward. So how do the company gain new customer insights? One of the primary reasons why companies are investing their time, money, and effort into business intelligence area is because it gives them a greater ability to observe, analyze, and current customer buying trends. So once you utilize the right BI tool, that's all. You have to choose the right BI tool, then to understand what your customers are buying or what their buying motive. You can use this information to create products or product improvements to meet their expectations and needs. As a result, that will improve your organization's performance. So you all understand in the IT, the world of IT, so everything is data. And business intelligence is a must to have skills, right? So once you are successfully grown in the area of BI, you will have a plenty of job opportunity and roles to work with. I can list out a lot of jobs if you are very good at BI area, right? So you can be either BI developer or BI consultant, or just a UI developer where you can showcase your presentation skills, or just a ETL programmer, technical business analyst, MIA system specialist. There are so many roles you can play if you are very good at business intelligence area. So what is needed to be a successful BI resource? So I actually group them into four major components. If you are well versed in these four components, you should be a successful BI resource and you can add more value to your company. So those are like data modeling. You need to have a strong data modeling skill and ETL skills, presentation skills, and analytical skills. So these are the four key components where you should have it in most of your professions, but especially with BI, you should have these. So as part of this professional training program, we are actually focusing on trying our level best to provide these essential skills for our resources. for example, if you want to learn about data modeling, we will start from scratch, like how to understand a system and how to identify entity. And also you should be able to identify the relationship between the various entities, which involves stored procedures, functions, views, and advanced techniques. Even that includes performance tuning, etc. And ETL skills, we primarily we try to teach you on SIS, which is one of the famous tool Microsoft is offering, where you can do a lot of automations, like in terms of data. Even you can work upon the data profiling and database management. Then final part is presentation skills. We are actually trying to train you guys in different tools like SSRS, Power BI, or Tableau. So these are the things we are trying to cover as part of this BI stream. And also we are trying to establish a cloud-based live environment for the collaborative work. So you can create a table and other resources can utilize it. So you'll have a live environment feel so that you can focus more on your work. Also, we focus on learning and implementing DevOps tools. And also you may need to work on the Git, how to use the Git, how to make your source code safe, and how to maintain the version histories, etc. And also we focus on agile methodologies. So you will be using the proper process. You are just not jumping into the development. You will focus on what's the requirement and how you are going to develop it. So these are the primary things we are trying to cover there. And every resource will design and develop a live system by your own. So that will give you more confidence. So when they are in the market, they will be industry ready and they can provide technical solution to most of the business problems. So these are the pretty much thing we are providing as part of business intelligence stream. I'm hoping to work with you in the future. I think that's all from my end. Thanks for listening, and I'm handing over to Karthik to organize QA sessions. If you have any questions on RPA or BI, whatever, we are happy to answer.
Thanks, Mano, for that overview. So yeah, I mean, feel free to ask any questions, but I guess on the chat, Jyoti has a question, so I'll direct that question to Raj. Can I switch from manual testing to RPA? And I touched upon this earlier. You've got a good background in testing, so maybe you can answer this question.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Karthik. Yeah, so to answer to Jyoti, so that is an excellent choice that you are choosing, which is RPA. So which I have done while I am doing testing. So I felt a little bit insecure about the job, because whatever the problems comes in an organization, so the testing team is the one who is easily targeted, right? So we get that insecure feeling. So I thought that is the main switch I want to do into automation. So initially I switched to test automation and then into RPA. But what I would suggest is, like, you have chosen directly to jump into RPA, which is a great choice. So you would certainly love that, because yeah, when you are able to do the testing, which is the most difficult job in the world, so you'll be able to do RPA as well. And we have the properly guided resource from UiPath as well, and we are providing the excellent training, and we know where to focus. So not to learn everything that is required, instead focus on certain areas, and then yeah, we can clear the certification or get a job. So we'll be mainly focusing on the job oriented training. So definitely it's a great choice. So you have any doubts? Is that answer helpful for you?
Yeah, definitely that is helpful. But I have, a couple of extension questions to this. So like once I complete this thing, like how much, what would be the level of experience that I could project in my resume? Like, is it 2 years or?
So far, can I understand how many experience you have so far?
I have 10 years.
Okay, so if you have 10 years, you have a lot of scope to expand. It depends on your skill. So if you feel that you have some advanced level skill, so you can make use of your existing automation, any test automation experience into the RP automation as well. You can think about that. So I'll purely tell it is based on your skill level and the job requirement as well. So some job expects some 2 years. So it's safe to enter into a entry level RPA job. which is a junior developer or a RPA developer.
Correct,
And
correct.
in that way, when you get that opportunity, you work for 2 or 3 years before you promoted to a senior RPA or a RPA lead. So in that way, it will be greatly useful. If you start right now, it's a great choice.
Okay, okay, Rajneesh. Thank you. And another, like, as part of this curriculum, is it will we be given assistance to clear the certification as well?
Yes, so mainly it is focused on the certification initially. So we just initially you can take the UiPath Academy certifications, the basic, the foundation as well as the advanced, and post that you can target the actual UiPath official advanced level certification. So I'll be guiding there as part of the training. So all guidance are given to clear that certifications. So I am advanced level certified, so I know the challenges that come across. So I help my students clear that as well.
Okay, okay. Thank you, Rajneesh.
Thanks, Jyoti, for asking the question. Like I mentioned earlier as well, this session is for you, so feel free to ask any questions that anybody might have.
Yeah, one question.
Sure, yes.
Yeah, in line with what Jody asked. So basically, a tester would be doing verification and validation. Right? So how would UiPath help in that area? It's actually a development process, right? So would it actually do some verifications as what a tester does?
So Ashin, so your question is how to do verification, right? Verification and validation using UiPath, right?
Yes.
Or is that something different?
Yeah, correct.
Okay. So you are asking, so how to do testing in UiPath, right? Or RPA is using testing in RPA, right?
Correct.
Okay. So there are multiple questions inside. So if you come across the software development lifecycle, right? So whatever we are doing in a SDLC, in a traditional software development process, so everything we are doing in the RPA process. So RPA is a new area, but whatever we are doing in the software development, we are doing it here also. So everything, including the requirement analysis, design, implementation, testing. So everything comes here. And there is a specific area called RPA testing as well. So where the RPA developers develop the workflows or the solution, and the RPA testers test that. So we have several activities to test that within the tool I'm talking about. It's a technology, so it has certain activities which can validate the workflows. And also UiPath has come across different tools, which is one of the tool is called UiPath Test Suite. Or test suite. So using that, you can test the workflows, whatever you are generating using the UiPath Studio. So UiPath Test Suite helps in testing all these workflows though. So there are verification and validation can be done there.
So I think just to add to that as well, so testing, the knowledge and experience that you have already from testing is equally valuable for RPA testing, because again, the knowledge of the test management process is also equally important. Like Raj mentioned, this is still a piece of software. It goes through its usual stages, and it interacts with UAT environment for all the other systems and applications, right? So that knowledge of testing, how do you track, how do you write test cases, test planning, test management, then once you run the robotic solution that has been developed, if you find defects, tracking that defects, that test management process also equally valuable. Combining that with the knowledge of RPA, you know even more areas where bots can have defects or can fail. So you combine the two, and you're now an experienced RPA tester. So it's a combination of RPA knowledge plus your testing experience.
Thank you. Actually, the thing was that my understanding on RPA was different. Now I clearly understood. I was thinking that UiPath would be a substitute for Selenium. That kind of automation is what RPA is going to deliver. So now I understood what it actually does. Thank you.
Thanks, Sachin. Thanks, Karthik.
Yeah, actually, I mean, while everyone's thinking of a question, this is a question I often get asked, and I thought I'd just bring it up for the benefit of everyone. Do we need a coding background to learn RPA? As you would have seen in the demo videos, all these RPA tools, UiPath, Blue Prism, is almost like drawing a Visio diagram. It's like a flow chart. So you don't need extensive coding background. You just need that logical thinking to define a flow chart. Everything looks like a flow chart that you draw on paper. In these tools, they provide you with the development environment, the IDE, the studio, the UiPath Studio gives you that graphical user interface where you don't need to write lines and lines, 1,000 lines of code for a module. You design a visual workflow, and that essentially becomes your RPA solution. So if you are hesitant and skeptical that you don't have extensive knowledge of coding, will you be able to pick up RPA? Yes, you will be. In my experience, a lot of my teammates have not come from technical backgrounds. They've come from commerce and accounting backgrounds, but they have been equally successful because these tools are fairly easy to pick up once you know the logic and the principles. The tools themselves are not really coding intensive. So that's just for the benefit of everyone, one question I quite often get asked. Yeah, any other questions from anyone?
Hi, this is Agalya. Just one question from me. So this tool, when we are testing the process flows, it should include performance testing as well, right? Because if we are automating a single process, there should be multiple ways to automate it. So I just would like to know whether this tool facilitates that. How do we ensure that the optimum performance is achieved?
I can probably answer that. So the tool doesn't itself facilitate performance testing. Performance testing, if you would want to say run it and measure its performance in terms of time it takes to complete a transaction, or if you were to stress test it by running multiple bots in parallel on the same system, you're doing stress testing and volume testing. The tool doesn't need to facilitate it. Usually your setup and your environment needs to be set up in a way where you're running multiple bots at the same time, or one bot is actioning a request and you're measuring the time that it takes from start to finish. So performance testing, again, is equally relevant in RPA solutions. But Raj, correct me if I'm wrong, within UiPath, is there something specific for performance testing?
Yeah, so UiPath supports this performance testing in terms of dashboards and some services, so which gives the value, so how much time it takes to run a bot, or how much resources it's consuming. So we can see it in a dashboard, but it cannot improve the performance of the system. So because we are automating the system has to be improved. So it tells whether the performance is good or not good. So based on that, development teams who is developing the software, so they will be working on that. Yeah, but certainly it supports performance testing.
And again, performance of the solution depends on the design. So again, like Raj mentioned, Raj briefly touched upon it, the design of the solution is equally important in terms of performance and non-functional requirements.
Does that answer?
Yeah. Yes, thank you. Thanks for the clarification. And will you be touching base on that as part of this program, or that's outside of the scope?
So we don't give more stress on the performance side. So because we have more priority topics to be covered. So the core is to mainly if you see our aim is to automate all the manual and repeated works. So that is our priority task. So more importance will be given to that specific area. And more on tools. So our aim is to clear this RPA advanced developer certification. So there is certain syllabus that we need to cover. So the performance is not part of that syllabus. So we will give all the skills to clear the foundation and the advanced level certification in UiPath, specifically for RPA. And Mano has some other plans for a business intelligence side similarly.
Sure, thank you.
Thank you.
Any further questions or even clarifications required?
What about your internship program? Can you give some highlight on that?
Yeah, so who is that? Sachin, right?
Yes, yes.
Sorry, so what do you want to know in that internship?
How long is the course? What
Okay.
is you are expecting?
Okay, so how long is the course? So you want to know about business intelligence or RPA?
Both probably.
Okay, so if you see, so there are only the difference between this internship and the advanced courses. The advanced course go for 2 months, and the internship also goes for initially the 2 months, and there is 1 more month for all the real-time experiences, the actual project work they will be doing for the certification, so which takes to 3 months. And post the 3 months, so they'll be offered the volunteer job with the company. So they'll be doing all the internal projects with the company to gain more experiences, and they'll be working together with us. And if they have any doubts or clarification, they will work together with us, and they'll get more skilled. So mainly to gain the experiences, so they'll be doing the projects with us, and that is more into the internship. So does that answers, or you have more questions?
Yep. So is doing this assignment part of getting the internship?
Sorry, can you please repeat?
Is doing these modules part of the internship?
Yes, everything is part of internship as well. So both advanced and internship. So initially they are same. So only difference is after 2 months, the advanced will not be traveling with us, but the internship does. So they'll be working together with us in projects, and they'll be doing more work. So more and more work, so they'll get more and more the real-time experience. So the what I see in the market is mainly what they lacking is the experience. So they really don't get that opportunity to get that real-time experience. So that is what we providing this platform. So they work together with experts to get that real-time experience. So in the future, they can become a good RPA developer.
And when you do these live projects, you do build these solutions, and you get feedback on how you've developed the solutions from people like Raj and Mano, and that feedback really helps you, better the solution in all aspects. So whether it is design, whether it's performance, whether it's exception handling and error handling. So that feedback and that experience on the projects, and then the feedback loop really helps you become a more well-rounded developer with holistic skills.
Raj, Jyoti here again. As part of this training, will we be given community edition or the enterprise one?
So yeah, it's all community edition initially, because that is more than suffice to the projects that we are doing. So yeah, so it's also mainly because those who are we are doing it online. So the participants, they can be they'll be able to do it work from home as well. So we are doing the community edition.
Okay, thanks.
Hi, Lalita here. So, is there any fee structure for these two courses?
Yeah, like I mentioned, Lalita, you can book an appointment with Raj and Mano, and it's a free 30-minute appointment where they understand your expectations, and then they'll provide the pricing details as well.
Yeah, cool. Thanks.
Cool. Conscious we're on time. Just any further questions?
Just a quick one on the internship. So you mentioned it's volunteer internship. If I'm currently working full time and I'm interested in, getting into that as well, can I cover it outside of the regular work hours
Yeah,
of mine?
absolutely.
Or
Yep.
so
That's-
support for that will be provided. All
Yep.
right.
Yeah, thanks, Agalya. So that's a very good question. So that's absolutely we have designed this course mainly for that. Those who are really working in some other field and want to switch their career to RPA. So based on your time availability, so we'll be giving you tasks accordingly. So you can also learn RPA using that internship. So regularly you will be connecting with us on your whenever your availability, your free time. So you'll be working on those projects and reporting us. So in that way, we work out a plan based on your availability and mainly to transform your career. So definitely it's we support for the full time as well on the internship. Does that answers, or you have more questions, Agalya?
That's all from me. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any final questions? Otherwise, we think we can wrap up here. Raj, Mano?
Yeah, I think it's no more questions, I think. So yeah,
But yeah, if you do have further questions, like Raj showed earlier, on the website there's an enroll your interest in or contact us section. You can always send in your queries through that, or even book an appointment online. So yeah, feel free to do that for any further questions. But apart from that, thank you for your time and thank you for joining. Have a good evening.
Thank you very much for joining.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thanks
everyone.
everyone.
Thanks all. Looking forward.
Thank you. Bye.
Thanks, Karthik. Thanks, Manu.